I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
On March 4, 1933, Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected as 32nd President of the United States. The history of food stamps began in 1939 when President Roosevelt signed the Food Stamps Plan. The plan was unique by using the overproduction of crops sufficiently to provide low-income individuals basic needs for living. It worked by purchasing orange stamps to buy food and household items. With every dollar of orange stamp bought, an additional 50 cents were given in a form of blue stamps which can only be used for surplus foods such as eggs and fresh vegetables. The plan worked for a few years to combat starvation during the Great Depression. However, the program ended in spring of 1943, due to the start of World War II when conditions from the Great Depression bettered. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy reintroduced it as the Food Stamp Pilot Program after an executive order was made for food distribution. The pilot program was different in a way by eliminating the concept of special stamps for surplus foods. It was not until 1964 when President Johnson signed the Food Stamp Act, making the pilot program permanent. 10 years later, the Food Stamps program became a nationwide program with over millions of participants. In the 1970s, major revisions occurred in the program, such as an establishment of national eligibility requirements and the elimination of purchase requirement. During the 1980s, budget cutbacks began, and nutrition education became a focus to combat a rise in hunger during the 1980s. By 1988, the Hunger Prevention Act increased benefits and created the Electronic Benefit Transfer System, also known as EBT, allowing participants of the program to use a debit card to transfer benefits from a federal account to a retailer account as a way to pay for products. When the mid-1990s came, there was a period of welfare reform. Participation of the program declined when in 1996, the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act made changes in eligibility. The POWER Act also required all states to implement EBT systems. EBT not only provided efficient and effective delivery of services, but helped cut back food stamp fraud by providing an electronic record of each stamp. It was not until 2008 when primary focus on healthy nutritious foods began. Due to this focus, the program was renamed Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program in the 2008 Farm Bill. Today, SNAP is the nation's largest domestic hunger safety net, which provides nutrition assistance to those who are eligible. Through SNAP benefits, it lessens the extent and severity of poverty and hardship in a family, by helping families buy food and providing resources to help pay bills during times of unemployment or family crisis. SNAP is also designed to support and encourage work by helping low-income workers to afford food as they work toward financial stability. The program also enables low-income households to afford more healthy foods, along with SNAP nutrition education programs to help participants make healthy food choices. In addition, SNAP acts as a first responder during times of natural disasters by providing critical food assistance to vulnerable households. Lastly, SNAP protects the overall economy because the benefits are one of the fastest and most effective forms of economic stimulus, in part because money is brought back into the economy quickly during a recession. Qualifiers of the program is broadly available to almost all households with low incomes. Individuals who are not eligible regardless of how small their income include strikers, most college students, certain legal immigrants, and undocumented immigrants. However, there are federal guidelines to be qualified as a participant in the program. 1. Your household income must be at or below 130% of the poverty line, which is about $26,000 a year for a 3-person family. There are exceptions, however, if the household includes an elderly or disabled member. 2. Your assets must not exceed $2,250. If in a household with an elderly or disabled member, it cannot exceed $3,500. 3. To qualify, you must be registered to work and take a job if offered. Disqualifications include voluntarily leaving a job or reducing hours to qualify. However, there are exceptions to these employment requirements if you are elderly, have a disability, pregnant or under the age of 18. And number 4, you must be a U.S. citizen or an eligible, lawfully present non-citizen. If a household is qualified to receive SNAP benefits, there are restrictions on purchases which include alcoholic drinks, cigarettes, vitamin supplements, hot food, and non-food grocery items. Over the years, there have been major positive impacts of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. According to the Census Bureau's Supplemental Poverty Measure, SNAP lifted 4 million people out of poverty in 2012, causing decline in caseloads, In addition, numerous studies show that the participation in SNAP has improved health in young children who live in households that receive SNAP benefits. This was in part because of the increased benefits that were provided by the 2009 American Recovery Reinvestment Act. The increased boost of benefits in the American Recovery Reinvestment Act has shown to positively impact cost on Medicaid as well. Participants are less likely to receive medical attention due to food security where they live, improved current and long-term health. However, due to the termination of the benefit boost in the AARA on November 2013, households who received SNAP benefits were negatively impacted, which also further increased child food insecurity. Overall, those who have benefited in the program include children, the elderly, adult caretakers or disabled adults who live in 75% of SNAP households. Considering ethnicity, a recent research in 2017 suggests that most of the benefited adult individuals from SNAP are those considered white, followed by Hispanic or Latino, and African Americans. Those who receive the least amount of SNAP are Pacific Islanders/Native Hawaiian, Native Americans, and Asians. The SNAP program is one of the most highly scrutinized welfare programs in the country. Perhaps the greatest criticism with food stamps has to do with fraud. Those who oppose the program state, many are just taking advantage of the system. In fact, the Trump administration have made suggestions to change the program to utilize a Blue Apron-style home delivery system in order to combat this issue. These so-called American Harvest boxes would consist of non-perishable food items that would be shipped to recipients' houses every month. It is said that this change would also cut expenses while still providing those in need with nutritious food. Although many studies have shown fraud accounts for a small number of recipients in the program, in reality, SNAP has the lowest fraud rate of any federal program. Recipients have shared experiences claiming that food stamps are already very limiting and hard to live on, making it unnecessary for further regulations. One current recipient, when asked to comment on her thoughts of the program, stated, "We are by no means living it easy. I work and I still find it hard to feed my family. You might feel good at the beginning of the month, but towards the end, you start to feel like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel and question what you need to skip out on next time."